I'm Ben Meyer.
And I'm Rob Wright.
And this year we want to wish everybody a Happy New Year, first and foremost.
Yes.
And give you guys our worst games of 2007.
We are going to start the year off on a negative note.
Just because that's just the kind of guys we are.
I guess.
And we like to just start things off on a negative note. But we went through kind of like we did with best games and looked at some of what the other critics were saying, looking for trends. And there was some definite commonality between some of the games. Yeah. You saw a layer on a lot of lists.
Yeah.
Hour of Victory.
Hour of Victory was a big one, yeah.
Deal or No Deal.
Deal or No Deal.
Why that even became a game, God only knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was some consistency. We didn't want to delve too much into games that either of us had played all the way through. Some of these had been reviewed by other people at Tom's Games. But Rob, what were your worst games of the year?
My worst games of the year that I played, I think two right off the top of my head would have to be Spider-Man 3 and Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. I'm not sure if anyone's detecting a trend out there, but yes, it's adaptations of comic books, big movies. Once again, not that I had a lot of hope for these games going in, but you kind of figure on a next-gen platform there might be some type of quality or entertaining feature with these games, and there just wasn't. They were bad. They were just kind of like a typical adaptation, kind of thrown together to coincide with the release date of said movie, and it just
it's sad when your expectations are already low and you still don't like it. I mean, that's really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there were also a lot of really bad Wii titles. Wii has all this hype around it. I love the Wii.
Wii's good.
I'm more of a casual game guy.
Yeah, but there's just so many bad games.
Wow. I was just playing Ninjabread recently.
That's one of the worst of the year.
That game, the controls on that game are just are mind-numbing. They're just horrible.
Ninjabread Man, that's one of the worst of the year. I mean, like you said, with the Wii titles, Balls of Fury, I don't know if we really need a Balls of Fury title like movie adaptation for the Wii.
No, we certainly do not.
And a lot of games like that, and another one that comes to mind is Sonic the Hedgehog. That really did not do well. It was not a very good game for the Wii, and to me, like having a Sonic game do bad, and I think a lot of gamers feel the same way. To have a bad Sonic game, it's almost as bad as having a subpar like Super Mario title or Metroid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
it's on that level because
it's
of
a big franchise.
Because of the brand.
Yeah.
Another game that came out with a lot of hype and they got in a lot of trouble was Manhunt 2, which also for the Wii just was crappy.
Yeah.
And Travis wanted to make us mention in this video Hellgate London, which is he's eventually going to have a review for.
Yeah, he's working on a review.
He's prepared to say that it will be one of his worst reviewed games of the year, so we wanted to make mention for that. And another game with really high expectations.
And it's weird because that game, it's been so plagued by technical issues that, I mean, it's really hurt a lot of the game's scores out there. If you read some of the other reviews and Travis, same thing with him. I mean, the score of the game is really going to suffer as a result of all the crashes and glitches that the game is subjected to. And if it didn't have those technical issues, would it be a great game? No, but it would be better. It might be a rental, but at this point, it's not a rental, it's a PC game. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it's almost another category in the sense that a lot of the negativity around it is based off of these high expectations.
Oh, yeah,
it was very heavily marketed.
Totally.
And there were a number of those that were just really disappointing. Maybe not totally awful games, but just really disappointing really big letdowns. So I put this to you. What is the biggest letdown, the biggest disappointment for 2007?
Well, I got a few games, and this category hurts more than like
obviously
the bad games. What certain games are going to be bad, but right off the top of my head, Half-Life 2, Episode 2, I gave it, a slightly above average score.
Sure.
I really thought it was not. I thought it was kind of predictable. I thought it was slow in some areas. I thought that it didn't really bring a whole lot new to the Half-Life mythology, and it had some nice moments, but it overall just Another game would be John Woo's Stranglehold.
Yeah.
I love John Woo action movies. I was looking forward to this game for so long. Played the demo at E3 and then played the full version. It was just like, it's just the gameplay never really. You never got the feeling of like being in a John Woo movie. The gameplay and the mechanics just never meshed.
Yeah.
And the biggest one for me, and people who have read the site know this, is got to be Assassin's Creed. I think I gave it my lowest score of any review in this fall season or since we've been doing reviews in the last year. And I just felt like there was so much going for this game. It had a great premise. I was yearning for something really new and different, other than all the shooters out there, the first-person shooters. I love BioShock and Call of Duty 4. Don't get me wrong, but this was something different. This is taking place in the Crusades, and it had a kind of interesting sci-fi angle to it, and it just got to a point where after you played, I think, the second mission, all the missions after that were they just felt the same, and it just felt you were doing the same thing over and over again. And a good story and beautiful graphics just never made up for that for me.
Yeah.
I know it's gotten good scores from other places.
Yeah, and some people got over it. I have buddies that they didn't mind that.
I was crushed. I got so bored with that game, and I was begging for it to end. I really was. So I know that seems harsh, but that's like you said. It's the difference between having expectations and wanting and expecting a game to be good and looking at like Transformers. No one thinks that game's going to be good.
and yet it was worse.
It wasn't. Deal or no deal.
Deal or no deal. So. But that's all the time we have for this week. I'm Ben Meyer.
And I'm Rob Wright.
And we'll see you again next time.
Worst game overall. The Ninjabread Man. Baked shinobi death. Frozen by useless motion. Lost stale leftovers.